Good morning, members of Synod Council. I thought I would do something a little bit different this month for my report, and that's simply out of the fact that it's been such a crazy few weeks, and I thought it might be easier just to sit down for a few minutes and share with you all that has been going on since we last met back in the spring. And a welcome to our new Synod Council members. I am excited to be with you in a few weeks to learn how God is at work in our Synod. But just a few things that have been going on. As you know, we finished Synod Assembly in June. It was wonderful. We re-elected Bishop Dunlop. We have Secretary Schlegel now on board, and we are just in full motion now that the summer has passed. Obviously, there's another exciting event this summer, and that was Churchwide Assembly. I am so thankful that I had the opportunity to be one of our voting members in Milwaukee the first week in August. It was a wonderful week filled with a lot of actions and a lot of decisions that came out of Churchwide. And with that, I wanted to share that, as you know, there's been a lot of questions around those actions. And in the supplemental report to this video, I've attached what is a proposed half-day Synod-wide conversation. And that is that we're proposing in concert with the Toward Racial Justice Task Force and some of the people that I've been working with on faithism, sexism, and justice, that we spend a day just simply going over the major actions that happened, share the actual documents themselves, have maybe a very brief panel, question and answer, and then at the end of that morning, invite organically for people to get into areas of interest or passion to figure out how to move forward. So there's a lot that happened this summer, and I'm really trying to figure out, as our communications person and director for mission interpretation, how best to organize that information and those areas of interest and action and help move us forward. So my proposal in concert with some of our wonderful leaders is to figure out how to spend October 19th effectively in a way to just start to really build this communication and understand how we are called to move forward. And on the other side of Churchwide, I was blessed to host a deacons retreat at United Lutheran Seminary on September 5th and 6th. We had about a dozen of our Synod deacons together. We shared our own vision for what ministry might be like on the other side of just certainly now that the rite of entrance will be ordination, but just also on the other side of a season of just kind of unknowing and getting a sense of where God is calling us. And so that time was well spent, and we're going to continue to figure out how to organize and to deepen our relationships with one another as this deacon roster. And the other thing that has been really active for me in ministry that really is shaping, I think, our equipping culture is to be partnering with the Stevenson School for Ministry and the Episcopal Diocese of Central Pennsylvania. And I know you've heard a lot maybe about this, but don't really know what exactly it is, and I get that. So we're going to be working on some serious communications these coming months, maybe a video to explain what our new missional speaking certificate is about. Richard and I have worked on that together, and we'll be launching a video. But what I want you to really understand is that the idea of what we are doing with the Episcopal Diocese is to be able to be fluid and to be flexible. And if you recall, coming out of 2018 Synod Assembly, we identified some serious areas of equipping and discipleship that were named as priorities for our Synod. And so now that we are past the 2019 Synod Assembly, and we know that the staffing is now in place, we're trying to vision how do we further that and follow what people have said is really important for us, and that is to really understand how do we speak about God, how do we equip others for discipleship in the kingdom, and not just rostered, but more importantly, all the baptized, all the disciples. That's just really been a plea that we've heard in congregations and from our clergy and deacons. So I'm excited the ways that we are now partnering more intentionally with the Episcopal Diocese. And with that comes the announcement that over the summer, the Episcopal Diocese of Central Pennsylvania called Bishop Dunlop to say, if we are really serious about being in partnership and collaboration, might we not look at having your staff also be on our staff of the school in a more intentional way? And so they offered that we would be actually the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and that I would take that role, but that they would basically contract with us as a Synod. I'm not doing this kind of as a side job, but rather as a part of my core functions here, and that they would contract back with us a commitment of a certain amount of hours each week that would allow us to do this work together. What we need to recognize is the communications for what we're doing goes across both of our constituents. And so it was a way to say, instead of doubling up and having their team do this and our team do that, how do we truly embody our 3 E's? To me, this is a perfect example of what it means to engage in new mission. And we're doing that by encouraging cooperation and equipping leaders. So you're going to hear more about that when I'm with you in September, but do just urge you to pay attention to the communications that come out in We News and they're on Facebook that start to explain the ways that we are deepening this partnership, but all so that we can strengthen the ministry of the congregations in our synod. And the idea around what we are crafting is very affordable. Everything falls within a continuing education budget or much less. And also the idea is that we are equipping full teams and congregations, not just necessarily a pastor or deacon, but rather how are we equipping all of the disciples. So as you know, this is a passion area of mine, and I am just so thankful for this deepening partnership. We've also started to receive some small grants for this work because the broader church at large recognizes the importance of working together and collaboratively, which means more funds are available when we do that. So I'm very thankful to Bishop Dunlop and Vice President Bringman and our synod as a whole that is open to exploring new missional opportunities. And so really also in terms of communication, I am working with our individual teams, task forces, committees to try to be more intentional, to have a broader communication strategy. We have so many wonderful things going on. Some of them are staff-led, some of them are committee-led. And so trying to find a way to be more intentional with integrating these wide variety of voices, these wide variety of missional opportunities that we are engaging in, anything from racial justice to women and justice, to the interracial work that we are doing, interreligious, ecumenical. We have so many wonderful things going on, and we're not telling our story. And so I'm working to invite others to be voices in our work together to share how God is at work. And so just finally, the development work that we've been doing, as you know, Our Always Being Made New campaign is wrapping up. That has wrapped up. And I am just really excited to share with you that in terms of pledges, outstanding pledges, we are under $40,000 left in the outstanding pledges. And so I'm thankful for Denise, who has been helping me work with our givers and our wonderful benevolence group to reach out to them and to make sure that we can achieve our goals and receive the commitments that they have made. And then also, I'm sure that Bishop Dunlop and Rob Blizzard will share how we have been meeting to create an intentional development strategy that looks at maybe an annual appeal along with our mission support. And so we continue to deepen our work of stewardship here in this place. And so I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I thank you for the grace of allowing me a video in this crazy week, which my grandmother has just passed away, so I was unable to be in the office for several days this week, but still wanted to offer a message of gratitude to you for all the work that you do, and look forward to being with you again in September and hearing more about where God is at work. Thank you so much.